Hello, just going to do another face off today. I've got a new soap to try out. I finally give up on my old sandalwood. It's getting difficult to actually get enough lather up. It's just a little sliver, little sort of hula hoop of shaving soaps. Today I've got this little razor. Not quite sure where it comes from, to be honest. It says Eleanor or Eleanor's 42 number on it, and actually it's got something on the other side as well. Didn't see that. I think it says B520 possibly, and it reminds me very much of like a CV24, like a little sort of, well, quarter hollow. I think they called it a quarter hollow, but to me it's basically just a little wedge. Yes, it looks like it's come out nice, the blade and everything. The scales need a bit of work, but they're alright. Scent as well for such a small little blade. And then I've got a CV, and it's called a number 2. And from memory, it is just a little hollow grind. But she's a good one. I hope she shaves well. Some of these are just brilliant. And I've said it before, but it always amazes me how they get such a fine grind on such a little razor, or at least they did. I've got this Bismarck that is not, it's not what I'd call vintage. It's probably sort of post 1980, even maybe more than that. I don't know. Maybe a bit less. I'm not too sure. I have to look when Dovo took over those old companies and everything, but it feels a bit soulless. Like the metal's well hard on it. It had this little weird kind of sort of mark down here near it towards the heel, and it was almost like that little wobble. And I'll tell you, it's took me forever to get it out on the 320 Shapton Pro. So yeah, my new soap. There's no point showing you that because it's the old wooden box I'm going to use, the old wooden bowl. But it's a Geo Thumper lemon. It's either lemon or lime, let's have a smell. And it's not very strong. I think it's a lemon. Yeah, I think it's a lemon. Either way, it's not very strong at the moment. Sometimes these pucks, they come to life after you've had a couple of shaves off of them. I've had it, I don't know, over a year. Come across it relatively cheap, so I thought, well, I'll give that a go. When I've run out my other one, thinking it'd be a few months, and lo and behold, it was like well over a year. So it goes to show, you know what I mean? I think that other sandalwood puck cost me something like 12, 13 quid. Excuse me. 12, 13 quid. And that's like a whole year's worth of shaving. Down there every other day. Like I said before, I don't really shave every day. Some days, but mostly not. Well, it's the first time I've lathered up with this brand as well. First thoughts are it's good, especially for a new puck. The scent's quite mild. It's a slight disappointment, I guess. Quite like lemons and limes and the citrusy kind of side of life. If anybody knows a really nice mint, like puck, shaving cream or something, let me know. I love my mints. Meaning the smell, flavour. Alright, well, my review of the Geo Thumper Even Lemon is very mild smell, but pleasant. Feels smooth, silky. Maybe even better than the old Avalon and, was it Avalon and Crabtree, wasn't it? Yeah, it's quite a thick, quick old foam. But then I kind of got used to struggling to get a bit of a lather up on the old one, so got to bear that in mind a little bit. Right, let's start with the CV number 2. And she's a good one. Oh, yeah, boy. Not sure if I deadened the point on this. They make a particular kind of noise, these little fine hollow grounds. Do you know what? I think there is a little tiny belly on there. Or at least there seems to be like a thin band. Not quite in the middle, a bit lower down. It's hard to tell though because the razor's so small. Yeah, very much make a particular kind of sound. It's a nice shave. Not real harsh tool for such a little one. That's not me leaking, by the way. I'm not of that age yet. Thanks, Tap. I can sometimes do that at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, or just start randomly dripping. My missus loves it. She does. She absolutely loves it. What's that? What's that? It's like, what the hell am I meant to know? Right, this is the Eleanor's. I think it might be. So like I said, I've got one that's in the same writing, same kind of scales, that says lasso. Sure it does. I'll have to have a look. Oh, that's a good one, that is. Do you know what, when I was sharpening this, I was thinking, it seems like good metal. Because once you get your eye in, your ear in, you're touching, when you hone, you can I'm always well impressed when them little ones do that. Just that, I'll tell you what, you could nearly walk away without doing anything extra on that. Like I said, it's a near wedge. Some people call them quarter hollows, which I guess they kind of are. But if you put a ruler, like edge on it, obviously I'm not going to do it now because it's got an edge, but there's barely a... It's probably got more of a grind than a CV24, if I'm honest, because they are damn near a wedge. But that's some good steel. That's relatively tight for such a little razor and that kind of grind. Yeah, if I was going to be massively picky, I think the hollow might be a little bit tighter, but that's commonly sort of common, that is it. You know, they're basically the same sort of blade geometries in terms of that way. Sorry, a bit of curve. You know, different points and whatnot, but one's hollow, one's quarter hollow. And the quarter hollow one's nicer to shave with, I must be honest. Which I rarely say that against the CV. Mr. Carl Victor. I must say, I like this soap though. I see the old thumpers floating around sometimes on the old internet. And because I've never had one before, well, shaved one much, I've got one that's rose as well. And I've shaved with that one a couple of times, and that's a nice smell, that is, that rose. It's more prominent than this citrus. Yeah, it's a nice smell. But I thought, oh well. But I'll rotate those two a little bit. I normally stick with one, you see, and then just hammer it until it's done. But because now I've realised some of these pucks last so bloody long, I'm gonna rotate them a bit. Best of both worlds then, eh? Or all worlds. Let's have a bit of a clean up. Yeah, it's nice lather. Sticks around on the face quite well. She's got good glide. Remember, if you've got a prominent Adam's apple, like I've not really got a prominent Adam's apple, and I don't actually get much hair growing below it, like not really. You know, some gents, they get it coming off up their chest, don't they, going up your neck and everything. So, and if you've got a prominent Adam's apple, what you can do is you push it that side, and you see what it does, look, it squares up the skin. So it's easier to shave. Let's just get that a little bit more wet. I've nicked myself somewhere though, because there's blood on my brush. Yeah, it holds in the brush well as well. Going against the grain is not as easy with this hollow sometimes for me. Especially in my wobbly chin. It just feels like it wants to kind of almost bounce back. I'm going to kill that edge a bit on the tip because that's nearly had me twice, so there we go. Bit safer now. Yeah, very nice. Very impressed with that little hollow. Always am. So if you ever wanted to shave with a little hollow, find a, was it number 2? I'm sure I've had, I nearly used her towel then, I've got you all sorts of trouble, God. It's not the first one, that ain't, I know it ain't. And I've shaved with some lovely Eric Anton Bergs. He seemed to specialise in this shape. Little ones with lovely little sharks. I really enjoy, sad as it may be, I quite enjoy them little sharks on the handles, and you get a nice stamp one as well on the shank. It's nice, like. Just a nice detail. And Eric Anton Berg was definitely one of the good Swedish makers. Not that I know a bad one really, but oh, that's like a baby's bum now there. Very impressed with that lasso. Like I said, I knew when I was honing it, I was thinking that is going to be a good razor. And that beats some of my CV24s, which is basically nearly the same shape, so... Yeah, it's even easier to do my chin with it. Things with them, the little tiny hollows, sometimes you get like a bit of spring back with them. Or at least that's what I call it anyway. Bit of bounce back, bit of spring back. But if you shave with that type more, you'd probably get rid of that, you see, with your technique. I shave with so many different razors. Oh, so many. Some people ask me what my best size is, and I don't know. I do like one of my Philharmonicas is probably my best razor. But I do like that grind. I like the shoulderless. But anything of 6/8 and upwards, they're the ones I enjoy. Shoulderless, or at least the little shoulders. Stabiliserless. Right, so because this little Eleanor has passed the shave test and it's proved to me it's a good razor, I'm going to tape the edge up, nice and strong, and I'm going to give it some new scales because I don't like these ones. And every now and then that's catching the blade, which I'd never sell a razor that was intermittently catching the blade. It's alright if you always know every time you've got to shut it, because you can get into a routine then, but if it's just, it does it every now and then, and for some reason them scales are what I'd call a bit wangy. I think they've just deteriorated with age, whatever plastic that is. Not sure what plastic it is. Don't smell like a celluloid. Celluloids always have like a particular smell, like if you grab them, especially like with a bit of jean or something, or a bit of fabric, anything. See, I can even smell it then. And I forget the name of the smell. Is it camphor? I forget, man. But it's like the chemical in it. If you get a bit vigorous on it, it does that kind of smell. If you do the same with horn as well. If you do the same with horn, you can let off a bit of a horn smell. Right, well, I'm quite impressed with both of them, especially the old Eleanor. I have to dig that lasso one out. Sorry, the lasso or left. Put them next to each other and compare them a bit, because I'm sure that one's got a number on it and all. See what like this soap's like, getting a bit of moisture back in your skin afterwards. The old Crabtree and Eleanor was pretty good at doing that. Like, so you put it on like this kind of thing, and then a few minutes, tidy your brush and whatnot, get stropping, drying your blades, and before you know it, it's all nearly gone off your face. The only problem you need is to make sure you wash your face properly afterwards again with some half decent water. Otherwise you walk out the house and you've got all this white bit in your, like your deeper stubble areas, like your chin and stuff, and you look like you ain't been in the sun for like 4 or 5 years. Right. Clean up, wash up, dry the blades, strop them, leave them for a bit, and then give them a good old rub with the old jeweller's cloth. Highly recommend the jeweller's cloth to any straight razor user, or any razor user actually. just dry it off and that, and then once you know it's properly dry, just give it a final dust off with one of them nearly every time you use it, and it'll keep it looking real nice and shiny. That is my tip of the day, as they say. Right, so who won? So that's already kind of going in, isn't it? Cool, that's tight. You know what? I'm very CV, Mr. Colvick, the Vault Bias. But he's been beat today. That little Eleanor. The little Eleanor wins. On that note, I hope you have a good day. See you again, maybe. Cheers.